Hi there. Today we are going to be styling my dining room for fall using DIYs that we are making as well as some thrift flips for a cozy industrial vintage style. Welcome to my channel, Freckled Mom DIY. I'm Devin. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, hey, this is a collab for fall, which I'll explain in a little bit. But first, let's see what we have. This is my dining room. It is very messy and I think we need to go shopping. So I saw these chairs at my local thrift store and I knew I had to have them. Okay guys, I am just so happy right now. Oh my goodness. So these are the chairs. I got all four of them for $35. Not $35 each, $35 for four chairs. There was a huge sale at Hobby Lobby, 66%. It is so doable. Oh my God. There's just so much fun stuff. I can't wait to get it in the house and go through everything. Well, I might have overcommitted because now the chairs don't fit under the table. We'll figure it out. These I just thought were awesome. Obviously, look at these, you guys. Oh my goodness. I love these. Some of these are like so old. I just love them. Like, look at this, 1881. How can you pass that up? Like, that is just amazing. And I found these at a fish yard in a box. So I am not getting a new table yet to fit these chairs, but we are going to redo my current dining room table. So let's get started on that. So this is how it's going to be. And I love it, guys, but I didn't start loving it at first. So this is a Krylon chalky finish paint. And I sanded my table down first just to make it smooth. In hindsight, I should have primed it first, but I didn't. So this is one coat. You can tell it is not full coverage. It does not look like chalk paint. I am now going through and doing my second coat. I decided to try a roller to see if that was going to give it a little bit more coverage. And after my second coat, guys, it wasn't. So I am not going to use this paint again, although I do love how it came out in the long run at the end of it. But it took me many coats to achieve it. So this is 3 coats, and even with 3 coats, you can still see through underneath, which I actually kind of like. It has that distressed look without me having to sand it. So it's okay. I'm going to keep it. I love the color, and I love how it came out, but I will not buy that paint again. Do as I say, not as I do. So here we are, guys. Here is a wicked cute DIY. These are some coasters I picked up at the thrift store, and this is just some paper I have that I love and I can't wait to use. So I did paint my coasters in Waverly Cashew, and this is just so it doesn't go through the paper because we're going to be Mod Podging it. So I am just measuring it out, and I do this for 4 coasters. And I am using my dishwasher safe Mod Podge because these are coasters, so in case I need to wipe them down. So I do Mod Podge on the coaster and on the back of the paper. Now this is thick paper, and that is the only reason I do it on the back of the paper. I use my fingers first, then I take out my roller, and then I do another coat of Mod Podge to seal it. So I'm going to show you one more time. We painted it first with a cashew, and then I did a coat of Mod Podge on the coaster and on the back of the paper. Now this is thick paper. If I was using tissue paper, I would not put Mod Podge on the back of the paper. So after I roll it, I do a coat of Mod Podge to seal it, and now I'm sanding it downwards, if you see what I'm doing with my hand, and that helps take all the scraggly pieces away and makes a nice clean edge. And we are going to be working on this edge. So here I have a smaller paintbrush and my Waverly ink paint, and I'm just going through and I'm painting all the edges of it so that way it matches a little bit more and gives it that high-end feel. I love how these coasters came out, and I'm super excited that I'm going to be protecting my furniture because I have some vintage furniture, and I just think these are adorable. I love this paper. I do not remember where I got it from, but I love it and I have to get more. I just love it. Let me know down in the comments what you think. So this one I actually saw in a vintage store and I knew I could recreate it at home. So I went to the thrift store and I got a bag of buttons, and then I have a mason jar, and this mason jar is just my mason jar, and all I'm going to do is fill it up with the buttons. That's it. So I'm picking out beiges and browns and blues, anything that kind of matches my dining room. I am finding a lot of vintage buttons over there. If you see them to the right, I love these. I have not looked them up yet, but my husband, he saw them very quickly and he said that they're definitely something. So I'll be looking those up for sure. I just love anything vintage, and this mason jar top was already vintage looking. That's it. Quick DIY. Here is another simple DIY. I love this. So I have a couple of frames here. That's from Target. That one's from Walgreens. And then we have that paper again. So we're going to make a little wall hanging. So first I have my fingers and I am just like placing them around to get the shape of that circle. And once I cut it out, I want to cover it with that cashew paint again because I don't want anything see-through. I don't know if the Mod Podge would see through that. So I am now going over with Mod Podge once the paint was dry, and I'm doing the same thing where I put the Mod Podge on the back of the paper, and then I'm going to put the paper down on top of my sign. So I had gotten this at Walgreens 90% off, so super cheap. It was, I don't know, I think it was like 20 cents. It was crazy. And I'm just using my finger and I'm just rubbing it down, and then I'm doing a coat of Mod Podge again to seal it. I'm doing matte Mod Podge so there's no shine. I kind of want that matte feeling because we're doing the industrial farmhouse and vintage. So this I'm just hot gluing right here, and I found a little button and it matches my aesthetic, so I'm using that to make it look like a little hanger of some sort. So this is just a little glass tube I got from Michael's, and I am putting a piece of paper on it so that way you can see it on the other side, which you'll see, guys. So Mod Podge, paper, Mod Podge. And then I'm going to use my E6000 and my hot glue gun, and I'm going to put it right next to my hanging sign here. And I just put some flowers in it, and I think this is so stinking cute. To be honest, it was crooked. That's why I had to add the flowers, but now I love it. So a happy accident is just so adorable. Let me know what you think down in the comments. So this is a fall collab with a bunch of my friends, and it is hosted by Ellie from DIY from House to Home. If you don't know her, she is so sweet and super talented. I put her link down in the description as well as the playlist. So there are a bunch of us creators, and I cannot wait to see what they all created. So this one is like a 3 for kind of vignette. So this is a little guy I picked up at the thrift store, and I'm not doing anything to him except taking off that tag. And I use my heat gun to take off the tag because it helps it. It releases the stickiness. And then I just used some glass cleaner and I cleaned it really well. And now this, actually, I went to a vintage store to get some inspiration, and my husband found that mug. And I loved it so much. So I actually had these flowers I picked up at a yard sale for $2. Oh my goodness. So all I did was throw them inside of the mug. And this was another item from the thrift store. All I did was clean it up. So you can see that you do not need to do big things with your thrifted items. You literally can just wash them and put them out on your table. I feel like the beginning of fall, you can get away with a lot of different colors. So I think this is so cute, and I love all these colors that I'm using today. These browns and these blues, and this is, oh my goodness, so pretty, you guys. So this is a basket I already had for my summer flowers, and all I'm doing is taking all my flowers out, and I'm using the flowers I got at the yard sale. They were $19.99, and you can tell they're super old. So now, how much would they have been? I don't know. Probably still $19.99, but I got them for $2 each. That's it. So I'm starting with my big flowers first, and so I had like the pinks and the purples, and I always start with my big flowers because those are the ones that are going to be the main attraction. So I put those first, and then I go in after with my smaller flowers and I put those in the little spaces. And as you're going, then you can just fill in with some extra greenery or like the little wheat flowers or, decorative little bulbs. And I just think this came out so stinking cute and it is ready for fall. So we are going to be decorating this soon. So stay tuned for the full reveal and the styling. I am going to give you a little home tour of my collectibles and my dining room. So I'm super excited about that. So here is Richie. He is helping me move some furniture. With those chairs I picked up, I also got those pillows at Hobby Lobby. I'm making a little coffee corner. That's a DIY I did previously. My husband and I have been shopping at antique stores and thrift stores for quite a while, so I have a little bit of a hoarding problem, but I'm so excited to be using all my items. This runner was from Hobby Lobby, 66% off, and now I'm just placing everything out. I got that tray for $2 at a yard sale. This rug was also on clearance at Hobby Lobby. This is that hutch that I got for $25, guys. Oh my goodness. I just love it. I love how everything pairs so well together. We have a mixture of wood and steel and metal and fabric and glass. And that to me is a mix between industrial farmhouse and cottage, throwing in these vintage items, these Boston baked beans. Oh my goodness. This is just... it's warming my heart, guys. I just love, obviously I love Miko, but I love vintage. I love pretty items. I love old items that have history, and using them mixed with new items and DIYs. It is so much fun. It's a project to create with thrift items. So that is a postage scale and I love it. It's on top of my antique train scrapbooks that I found. They're from like 1930s. Like, it is crazy how old those were, and they're falling apart, and I just love them. And that was a really nice picnic basket that I had redone. And these are a little bit of our collection. So my husband, he loves to collect carnival glass and jadeite, and we like to keep it in our built-in. So this was such a big feature in our home when I bought it, because I love built-ins. I just love that charm, and I love that we have a place that we can display our items without people touching it. So Miko is inviting you to our coffee corner. These chairs are amazing, guys. They are so comfortable. They're super wide, so my big butt fits perfectly in it. And they are so nice. They're like Windsor chairs with a bow back. And I think they pair so well with the vintage fan and these antique books. Oh my goodness. I just love it so much. And those pillows were also on clearance, 66%. And I just love how everything pairs so well together. And it's so creative and inspiring that we can take pieces that we have made, pieces that other people have made, and mix it all together to make your own style. This hutch was actually from my mother-in-law. She had redone this. She used to own a thrift store back in the day. So this is another collection of ours. We have our wedding flowers up there, and we have some of our collectibles that we do not want little fingers touching. So that's why we keep it behind the glass doors. And this hutch is just so pretty. I love pieces that are vintage, but also that function. And of course, they have beautiful hardware. It's just so pretty. I love the new color of this table mixed with all these new fall DIYs. I think it brings such a touch of industrial farmhouse in here, mixed with a little rustic. I just love it so much. So I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to follow along the playlist. Thank you to Ellie for hosting this, and to all my friends for being in this collab with us, and I'll see you guys soon.